pressure
Yes.
from his boss, right?
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so there's other people from Sony who are involved, but just as far as him having a role in all of these games and being hands-on with the games instead of just the business overall, there's been kind of like a revolving door of the people who have been at the head of Sony.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say like how impactful that role is in any given moment, but this one you can clearly see the impact in the product.
Yeah, and also like the results of the work.
Yeah.
So and he hasn't been in this role that long. It's only been since November of 2019.
Right.
So
right.
it's relatively new to it. But yes.
All right. Number 4 is from a company that we actually don't talk that much about.
Even one of our
on this podcast.
best friends.
We have a great friend who works there.
Yeah, we probably should have him on the show one of these days. But it's Gabe Newell.
We should have Gabe Newell on the show.
Yes,
is that your
please.
idea? Oh,
yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Gabe Newell of Valve. Yeah, why don't we talk about Valve more on the show? I don't know.
I think it's because we're not PC gamers, and so we don't do a lot of Steam. Although I'm obviously like we watch tons of people that play Steam games, and we know people that work at Valve. So yes, I don't know why we don't talk about Valve more.
Valve is such an interesting company where it's like this video game think tank almost, where you kind of don't hear a lot about what's going on, and they're not like pumping out new things, but when they do, it's like industry shaking stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the Steam Deck was that
right?
Last year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did not realize that Gabe is one of the wealthiest people in the United States.
Well, that's not how you get on the list. You can't buy your way onto the Kit and Crystal list.
He didn't buy his way on.
This is why I gotta be your checks and balances. You're taking this dirty money from Gabe.
Hey, Gabe, slip me a little here. I want to go to Japan this year.
Is he giving away a Steam Deck every minute on this show? I don't think so.
You should be on the Patreon goals.
What?
Give me the $3.9 billion, Gabe.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, you really don't think about like people in the video game industry being like exorbitantly wealthy, because it's really not that type of industry. It's not like tech or something like that where it's ridiculous. But apparently, he is one of the wealthiest people in the U.S. There you go.
Yeah. But again, it's just like you just think of the impact that Valve can have with one of its releases.
Yeah.
Which is so high, and that's kind of been there for the last 20 or so years. Once they started Steam, it's like, hey, we're just going to make this new platform, and we're going to support that. And now we have this other platform with Steam Deck and all the other big games like Dota in between. They've been pushing VR as well. So they always feel at the forefront of something new or something people haven't yet thought of.
And then they're always